Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Hi. Kumusta?
Are you tired?
No.
No?
No? Yeah.
It's all right.
Hi, I'm Marie from Sony Music Bar.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you.
Arlene.
Arlie?
Arlene.
Eileen. Okay. Come on, Eileen.
I know that song. I
You
love
do?
that
Oh,
song.
yeah.
And I'm Lita from Archuleta, Philippines, and the David Chronicles.
Oh, fun. Okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
So,
So-
I have questions. Okay, if you don't
Okay.
start going on. Congrats on your book.
Oh, thank you.
Art of Strength, and for being one of the New York bestsellers list.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so are you still at it? I mean, writing your journal?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's something I've committed
So,
to.
if you're still writing, can we expect a part 2 or a second
Oh.
installment of the book?
Not anytime soon, I don't think. But maybe because it was already a challenge trying to write a book.
While touring.
Yeah, and as a teenager. So it's like, well, maybe like a couple
Couple of years
decades.
more. Decades.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if people still care even. I don't know.
Of course you can. Come on.
Can we talk about your album?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us your favorite track on the album or the song that you are most proud of all the songs?
The song that I'm most proud of, I always refer to the first and last songs because the other side of Down is just I felt like it was the right balance of what I wanted to accomplish with the lyrics and what I was talking about and just the kind of vibe it had and the feel-good vibe that it had and just the quirkiness and just so I felt like it was what I wanted to show to people. And then the last song, My Kind of Perfect, I felt like was just a very, it was like my kind of love song, my love song, because I haven't been in a relationship, so it's about wondering who that person is going to be like and stuff. So, yeah.
How were you challenged for this new record and what have you learned from the first record that you applied now for this new album?
Well, with the first album, it was very different because it was just, let's get an album and a bunch of songs together on an album as fast as you possibly can. And so I didn't really have a whole lot of time until like near the end of the process to get more involved myself with it. But I learned a lot from that process, just of how the business works and what goes on, who's all involved. And with this album, taking that experience from the past with me, I was still learning. Like as I was making this album, just kind of, I guess, asking myself questions really helped. In like, wait, do I really have to listen to them? Do I really have to go by this, or do I really have to sing about this? And it's like, no. I mean, this is my album. My face is the one that's on this. And so, that's where I realized it's like, okay, in order for people not to tell me what to do, or to tell me if I'm doing it wrong, then I'm gonna just figure out myself what it is I want to accomplish or what I want to say, and I want this album to be me. And I felt like especially it being my own experiences and the theme of this album to be myself and my own perspective of life. No one can tell me no one can say, oh, you're doing it wrong, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. It's like, well, how they won't know more than me about myself. I think only one person knows that more about myself than I do. So I don't think. So it's like that's where I was able to really distinguish what was real, true, and what wasn't. And so by doing that, it really helped me grow a lot more independent and how to be able to say what I wanted to say in the lyrics of the songs. And if people said, oh, you're not doing it the right way, it's like, wait a second, yeah, I am. It's like, I'm the only one who knows if I'm being me the right way or not, you know? I guess, or I don't know. That was kind of weird, but I definitely learned a lot.
Sorry, was it easy or difficult for you to open up since you wrote most of the songs? Was that easy or difficult to be vulnerable?
It was hard to open up,
Especially for the private person.
Yeah, at the beginning it was very, very hard because I was like, what do I want to say, or how am I going to say it? But because I think this album and doing the book at the same time really allowed me to be more open, and it really allowed me to learn how to express myself and ideas I had or the experiences I've had. And so I definitely was able to open up a lot more, and now even today I've been able to not feel like I have to hide myself because I felt like I had to hide myself so much because I was imperfect. There were things that I had mistakes. I was an imperfect human being, and I felt like being in this position, especially, you're not supposed to show that. You know, you're supposed to look all glamorous and perfect. Look how happy I am, you know? And it's like, wait, you know, and the more I made mistakes and messed up in front and realized that people didn't care that I was imperfect, the more I realized, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to do this. And you just have to be willing to work hard. And if you do have imperfections and mistakes, things that you might need to work on in order to keep moving forward, then you just work on them, and you just keep giving your best, and that's all you need. You don't have to be a perfect person, which is a huge relief.
Yeah.
David, all the pictures in your album are about movement. You jumping.
You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to do this, and you just have to be willing to work hard. And if you do have imperfections and mistakes, things that you might need to work on in order to keep moving forward, then you just work on them, and you just keep giving your best, and that's all you need. You don't have to be a perfect person, which is a huge relief. Yeah.
David, all the pictures in your album are about movement. You jumping,
Yeah.
upside down. Can you tell us why?
The pictures, that was another thing that I was so happy that I learned, that I didn't have to tell people what kind of pictures I needed to take. I had to fight, actually, not fight. I just had to keep my feet on the ground and be firm about what I wanted. It's like, I want to be happy. They're like, oh, well, actually, you know, these kinds of pictures are more appealing to people, and people want to see more of this.
You're making posy.
Yeah, and it's like, what? I mean, it's like this. You know, what I love about this picture is, like, you know, they just put a picture by the wall and stuff, and then they just had me just be random and stuff, and it was fun because, I mean, you know, I was able to. I mean, I had to make it an effort to say, hey, I would like more of this in there, because I feel like if you just let people do their thing, they'll just do whatever and not tell you what's going on and what they want happening. So I made it an effort. It's like I had to think about the pictures. I had to make an effort and say, okay, there's going to be a photo shoot coming up for the album. That's going to be really important about showing people who I am and what kind of image and what kind of energy I want to give to people. And so I had to think, okay, what kind of pictures do I want? What do I want to show? The other side of down. What do I want? Yeah, and what kind of vibe? And what kind of person do I want to show? What side of me do I want to show with these pictures? And they were saying that the album cover that they almost chose was very serious. Similar
to
the
first one.
Yeah, it was very like it wasn't as bad as before because but it was just very. I think it was a lot more like, oh, you know, you want me kind of look. And I was like, I don't want that. That's not what I'm trying to show. And they're like, oh, but research has shown that this is like no, I don't care about the research. Same with the video. It's like, I don't care about what research shows. It's like, about like, oh, well, you can't show older people and that because research has proven that young kids are taken off by that. But it's like, but whether they like it or not, they're around people of all ages. Around, they're old people and young people around them in their lives, and I want this to be real. It's like that. So it's just anyway. Sorry, you asked about the fun pictures and stuff. I'm like, the pictures. I just wanted to be more fun, and it just a matter of like I want to talk to the photographer to make sure he knows what I want to do, because if I don't talk to him, how is he going to know what I want to accomplish with the photo shoot? And I was like, I want to hang upside down, I want ladders, I want just things that are fun, that are light, and not just like serious and like look how cool I am. I wanted to be approachable. I wanted to look like a real person.
Good for you for standing your ground.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
David, I'm sorry.
Go
All
ahead.
right, David, you're turning 20 next month.
Yeah.
So,
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Number 20.
Yeah.
So anyways, you're turning 20, so it's a big age. And, well, you're a teenager right now, and it's your last year, right? So since you got famous, has being a teenager been awesome for you, or is there something that you haven't quite done yet in your teen years since you got famous, right?
Well, I feel like I've done everything. I've done a lot more than I thought I was going to do when I was being a teenager.
Anything with fame?
Not really. I mean, I guess it's because I didn't expect much of my teenage years. so there was a lot more than I thought would ever happen, and I feel like part of it's just how you decide you're gonna act with. I think a lot of it's up to you with your decision, with your attitude of how you are going to handle things. I think that's very important. Or not just as a teenager, but just in life, just your attitude. And so you could be like, my teenage years were horrible, or you could be like, I was able to do a lot. I learned a lot, that's for sure. And I think that's why even if things are going bad, that's why I think. Sometimes it can be overwhelming and frustrating, but you can always look back and say, was that really a bad thing? Instead of thinking, oh, that was horrible, it's like, oh, well, look what I learned from it. I'm not there anymore. Yay, Or now, if you feel like you hit rock bottom, the only way you can go is the other side of down now. So there's no more down to go. So so you can only keep moving forward. And sometimes you feel like, why did this happen to me? Why did this have to happen to me? And then you find an experience or something happens in your life that comes up and it's like, oh. And it's like, I've learned how to handle this because of what I went through. Or there's someone you meet and they're going through something, it's like, they're going through what I went through. I wasn't the only person who went through that. And now that I've gotten out of that, I can kind of share what I've learned and help them out. And it's just really cool. It's like sometimes that's what's interesting to learn, is sometimes you don't go through things sometimes you go through something hard for someone else. And you just don't realize it yet until like maybe down the road a little ways. And you realize, whoa, I needed to go through that experience for this person. And I think that's what's amazing, to see how intertwined our lives are, and to see how connected everyone is, and how we're supposed to be there for each other.
Things happen to you.
Yeah.
One last question.
How much of that experience went into making your album? Because it sounds a lot more mature than the previous one.
Well, definitely with the, I've kind of found, I guess there was a balance of being fun on the album, but still having meaningful messages. And so so most of the songs are very fun, and I just wanted to keep a positive kind of fun atmosphere with the songs, but I still wanted, it's like, I guess I kind of thought of it earlier as being, it was an immature way of being mature, because I was still able to be fun, because it was my last year as a teenager. I won't be able to, this is my last chance I had to make an album as a teenager, unless I make one in 2 weeks or so, But I still I feel like, if people really, pay attention to what the lyrics say and stuff, they'll either, understand more of how I look at things, or I don't know. My thought left. Sorry.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.